Hello, this is a message to Carlos Ghosn. This is my channel, and you wonder why I am making this video. Okay, for any of this case, for that matter, I made this video is because I noticed that you have done so much for a company. You paid your taxes and everything like that. Like, I would say this. I see the videos, I see all the bogus cases that would happen, like they wrongfully frame you for financial fraud or financial misconduct and whatever. All these accusations are bogus. And I believe you. It is true. And wonder why. If let me tell you of all this. Okay? So I have expected with all the news and all recently with YouTube videos and why some people at a popular, this is just what's the difference between selling a product, how you going to do something, strengthen up to, perform level, like, improve a company's product or improve the company or corporate. You have done this in France with Renault. You have done this with Michelin or the parent company of BF Goodrich. I bet you're gonna put BF Goodrich on the next product. All of a suddenly, I have heard some things of all I've got to say. I have to say this. If you guys are watching, all of you, and to Carlos Ghosn, like I've seen of all this, if there's any people of the Harley-Davidson club in Lebanon, I bet there are. but that's not just the case with that. But just put it in this place about all this is that all these charges are a bunch of BS. As let me tell you, if what a Carlos Ghosn, Carlos Ghosn, right? What if you were black and you take the job at GM? All right. The only thing is you could help GM succeed. You bring Pontiac back and put the Pontiac brand, and what else you could do to Trans Am and stuff. But in the case of that, General Motors, just because you're black and let's see if you were black, and they say they want to take you down, and they did it successfully. Then, after all, GM had succeeded. People with the Camaro and the Pontiac brand. Then they replace you with a white CEO. So similar. The same case, bogus cases that had happened to you in Japan. Working for Nissan, it could happen to you like if were you black. If you were black, then you have to just go ahead, hide somewhere. You gotta go from Detroit to LAX only to escape to Japan or to NYC or whatever or somewhere like that, just to escape because they you are and they put you in a box, right? Well, that is the case of most likely of more of discrimination of I don't know why. I was thinking this is very racial discrimination around there. But anyway, that is not the case with that. But just companies with their cronies and that stuff seeing General Motors tanking. But hey, General Motors tanking, well, translate that into Nissan tanking, all right? So what's going to happen of that? This is just breaking up. This is just a kind of companies to break up. I could remember that what happened to one. I like the Mustang cars, you know. I don't drive whatever it is, but hey, one thing that I will say that I have seen about the Mustang, all right, it's a car by Ford, but you know, this is with the Explorer. I mean, what happened with Ford and Firestone, they break up. They have breaking up. They are like, or they say they're like a divorce or something. In that case, all because of axle. They fixed the problem. They broke contracts with Firestone, Bridgestone. Like now they equip their with Michelin tires, BF Goodrich, and Goodyears, right? So nothing to do with Firestone anymore, right? But now I could tell you that this is one thing about different industries. Instead of going to the automotive business, they have something in two wheels, the motorcycle industry. Even though to be for the motorcycle safety, you gotta wear some protective gear and a helmet. A helmet is virtue for riding a motorcycle, right? So what it is with this, a lot of people have got a lot of hate. They make a bunch of videos. They make a lot of videos complaining about one particular motorcycle brand. You heard of the name. If you heard of Harley-Davidson, that's the company it needs, because they have done a very wrong choice. They hire somebody that he have been a CEO of a shoe company, sneaker shoes, all right? So they hired this German-born former CEO of a shoe company, and does not understand very well the customers in the United States. They're willing to buy American. And this is where it is. And everything is very confusing in the US, because I think one thing that all the BS accusations, depending who wins. I mean, these things of whatever people does not understand. Most of the customers that buy this brand of motorcycle will vote for somebody when you come to the United States, and you have to come very soon, and they will vote somebody that people may believe all the BS accusations. They're gonna have connections with Japan and all, just to put you down, Carlos. Just to put you down, Mr. Ghosn. That is what people believe if you are taking the ship of a motorcycle company. They believe in the BS on the candidate they vote for president, and by 2025 they're gonna put your face on the FBI most wanted list. All it is just to take you to jail in Japan. You know the name of these towers. He does the same crimes as the crimes you didn't do. The same crimes you are wrongfully framed. This president, who is going to be president, he already been president just for one term. But then He has done the same crimes you didn't do in Japan. And that's why I would say to you that this is trauma, and this is what people think and believe on the lies, on the BS that you did. Okay, what the things that are BS that you have done in Japan is true for the candidate, that people that buy this brand of motorcycle believe that what he did done you didn't do. The crimes that they wrongfully frame on you in Japan, the president that it was, the former president that is running, did. He did what you didn't do. He will put you on the FBI most wanted list for financial fraud. And that's the reason I could tell you about this video when I made it. I understand. I know people will come and sell out. They're selling out not knowing about you. Okay, so this is just what it is to speak out. The only reason you are going to survive from going to jail in Japan is when we have a woman president. People will do the same lies about this, and over somebody that the crime that you didn't do, that person did it here in America. And for that reason is that, I mean, everybody's mad at Johan Zietz, very mad as what it is that they did on cutting down production of certain models of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, that I believe what it is to be sent production to Thailand. And this is a worrisome that I think you, Carlos Ghosn, will be taking ship at Harley-Davidson. And the time is now, and whatever it is, you cannot settle for less. Even though most of the customers are going to vote for someone that is going to send you to jail in Japan for the crimes that you didn't do, that this president has done all along, who has been there from 2017 all the way up to 2021. 4 years of somebody doing the same crimes that you didn't do. You know, maybe you know the name of the man for crimes, for the same crimes that you didn't do in Japan, what he did here in America. And for that reason is I have done a petition that you need to be free, that you are the one, you are the face to what it is. I mean, the trip, the Avengers in Japan running a car company are over. This is you. I know what it is. I have seen a video of somebody that have been kicked out of Harley-Davidson, that they thought that with this man, he has the brightest ideas. And you know what? He is a perfect candidate for chief operations officer, first COO of Harley-Davidson. His name is Eric Buell. All right. So what it is with this man, if you become CEO of Harley-Davidson, you're going to hire him. You know what it is. The thing is that if companies are going, sometimes the cheapest states are with the lowest taxes are like states like in Alabama, like Georgia, and even Texas. I mean, most of the companies, because taxes are very high, they move to Texas. I mean, people in York, Pennsylvania don't notice about it. But I might just say to do this, if you notice that, first of all, you're going to be hated in one state, but you're going to be loved in another state, all right? But the taxes in Texas are very low. I mean, this is one of the most cheapest states in America. As you know, it is for cutting, and then who will know that the former CEO of Nissan, the former CEO of Renault, will close a factory in York, Pennsylvania, and move production to Texas. Why? Because that is your strategy, and that is the main focus on the company. It is my favorite company of motorcycles, Harley-Davidson. Yes, Harley-Davidson. And Polaris is taking away the customers from Harley-Davidson and is going to sink the ship. I mean, this person who is a former CEO of Puma is sinking the ship. It's sinking this Titanic of a motorcycle company as with the iceberg. It is the iceberg of people. Polaris is just the iceberg of a famous American motorcycle company. That what they have done, decisions, kicking out a very successful man known as Eric Buell, and all this, because I know that even the directors of Harley-Davidson, it is to hire you as the replacement of Johan Zietz at Harley-Davidson. To said of this, you have been, I mean, raised in France, born in Brazil. You have loved Japan, but then if you have come in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, I mean, you'll be more American than apple pie. You'll be as American as apple pie in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know, taking ship of Harley-Davidson. I mean, I know if it's a 20-minute video, but you ain't taking ship of Harley-Davidson, Mr. Carlos Ghosn. So if you take ship, COO would be Eric Buell. You're gonna have probably Paul Tyrrell or people that knows the business of motorcycling. As maybe that you and Eric would work together. You and Eric will work together to fix the image of Harley-Davidson, and probably motorcycles that are built in Europe are built probably you might build in the Netherlands, maybe some in Thailand for the Asian market, but for the European market would be made in the Netherlands, Spain, maybe the Middle East Maybe in the Middle East, motorcycles, Harley Davidson motorcycles, going to the Middle East might be built in Lebanon, but for the U.S., it's going to be made in East Troy, Wisconsin, where Buell is, where Eric Buell has started. Harley Davidson has destroyed this man, the COO, the man who is second in command for you, and they left it out just to not to a man that just thinks ahead and wants to have something in the end to gain momentum. He started everything, but now you are in charge. You hire him. He is the second in command. I understand. The only thing it is that whatever it is, but this is just focusing in the North American market. What you have to do in the North American market, as Carlos Ghosn, once you are here, you are more American than Apple. You are as American as apple pie. And what it is that you're gonna do with this motorcycling business, you're gonna face a bunch of challenges. You're gonna face Honda with its Goldwing. The Chinese are getting a competitor against the Goldwing. Then with Carlos Ghosn in charge of Harley-Davidson will get a competing motorcycle that will be called the Goldwing Killer. That's what it's called, a Goldwing Killer that is made by Harley-Davidson. Maybe you could get the smoothness of a, engine, maybe tweaking with an engine of a Ford Lincoln Town Car. Really smooth ride on a car, but in a motorcycle. It would be like the Rolls Royce of motorcycles, the Rolls Royce of Harleys, right? Maybe you might have it called the Royal Glide. Sports bikes, Eric Buell will have his Buell brand back under the Harley-Davidson umbrella. Well, then if a woman president becomes in the United States, one thing for sure in this administration, that you need to be automatically a U.S. citizen working at Harley-Davidson. Your wife is a U.S. citizen. That with her, this court, all these BS accusations are going to take place in Holland, in the Netherlands, in Hague. That means the case would be within the US, Japan, and Lebanon. To have this thing and just use just use this case with you against a former car company that they accuse you in about you becoming the black CEO at General Motors situation to go against the civil laws of Japan, that I think that is very ridiculous of a country that I want to go. But then if you declare free, innocent of all causes, everybody will be shocked at a person, the future CEO that replaces Zietz, that hires Eric Buell, that the man, and I love to see a bunch of Harley-Davidson motorcycles right there in front of the International Court of Justice in Hague. And when they see that, if you're clean, all the outlaws, what it is, you are like an outlaw in Japan, But for the rest of us that we know you, you are 100% innocent. And all these accusations that they accuse you in Japan is BS. And I know it's BS because I know you are innocent until proven law of all the laws. But just in case, the only way, Carlos Ghosn, as you are proven to be innocent, is by having our first woman president. If not, then somebody that have done the same crimes that you didn't do will have you put in on the FBI's most wanted poster. It's gonna be very crazy to see wanted by the FBI, the CEO of Harley-Davidson, Carlos Ghosn, wanted by the FBI. Then what happened? There'll be no court of justice to go. The administration would be all over by kissing Japan's butt. And what happened? Eric Buell will take over Harley-Davidson. Carlos Ghosn, you're gonna be arrested in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, somewhere in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They hop you on a plane and they take you to the big house in Japan. For what? For accusations that are BS, that people believe the president, that are not true. That is BS. I mean, and I understand it's BS, but as long as there's a woman president coming, then there's gonna be Harley-Davidson motorcycles parked in front of the International Court of Justice in Hague in the Netherlands. They're gonna prove you wrong. And this case scenario, using you in your case as the example of the black CEO of General Motors situation, would be the best case scenario to defend yourself and to have all people, because the woman who is president was working for judge and for justice. She was a lawyer. You better get ready, Carlos Ghosn. This is my message to you. This is all what I could say. And take care of yourself. I believe you're I believe you're innocent, and I believe all these frame of these accusations in Japan of a president that did the crimes that you didn't do is all BS. Just remind me, it's all BS. Thank you. And please subscribe to the Embargo Man channel, everybody. Message to Carlos Ghosn, former CEO of Nissan. I hope to see he become the future CEO of Harley-Davidson. Good night, everybody.